I think Nick Starr's come back and done some stuff because he had some substance issues, I think.
He's got quite a monkey face, hasn't he?
He definitely has quite simian features.
Like John Connors starts throwing his shit
around, just has a wank.
Yeah.
Owing to an impacted bowel during childhood, Sylvester Stallone is unable to defecate in the conventional manner, instead passing a smooth football-sized black pellet every January.
Hey, go long.
One thing they've done, and I've already decided to include this in my best bit, so future Richard's already done this. When he takes the helmet off, and I remember this when they produced it, it's just completely clean, and smooth. So all of the body horror is gone. He looks sort of like if you covered your foreskin in tinfoil and peeled it back slowly and drew a face on your bell end, that's what it would look like. Oh, he sat there just like...
Just looks like a peeping bell end out of a foreskin. Well, yeah.
I've really wrestled with just calling Liam Neeson's character Bristol Stoolshot.
My name is Bristol Stoolshot.
I'm telling you, it's a number 7. No Bristol Stoolshot. It's not how
There is no number 7, it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Well, you're not listening to a word I said.
It's simply not done at Bristol Stoolshot.
I have a particular set of skills. Or a particular spectrum of poo.
Now a linchpin of the series and close friend of Stallone, English hardman Jason Statham wasn't so easy to convince initially. The lock, stock and snatch star had previously made a name for himself representing Great Britain as an Olympic diver and as a dancer in music videos for Escher and The Shaman. By the late 2000s, he tired of acting and wanted to return to music with an eye on founding an interpretive dance studio in his native London. Stallone insisted that the Stath had a future in high-octane action and pursued him for over a year before he could be persuaded to take the role of Lee Christmas, with only one caveat: no trousers or pants. Jason had sworn off lower body clothing throughout 2009, which coincided with the shoot. Unable to change his mind, the shoot went ahead with Statham having his lower half caked in body paint and his genitals removed digitally in post-production. In one scene in which Christmas visits Buffy's charisma carpenter supposedly wearing white trousers, his penis and testes are briefly visible as he fights some goons on the basketball court.
Dumb, bloated, and it's just emblematic of Hollywood hubris. And I've already given it a kick in once.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it again.
Well, this is the final shanking in the prison showers.
This is a sharpened toothbrush in the neck during break time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Right, well there you go.
Never recover.
Ending on a lovely image there.
Yes.
Very much the paedophile being murdered in the exercise yard of the prison.
Correct, yeah.
The film Prison. Well, anyway, that was...
Two things happened after that.
That was when Spider-Man
Spider-Man didn't have to put anything in his mouth that day. Right, well...
I'm getting out of here tonight, Harry.
I'm going to wrap this one up, boys and girls, and we'll see you again next time with more stuff. Oh, he's famous or something. It's in the description. Bye.
What?
He's at risk of losing his tenure, and of course he's on the edge. And it'd be sort of like A Beautiful Mind as well. I think there'd be a scene where Liam Neeson is on the other side of a piece of glass, and he's using like that white chalk paint stuff.
Just sausages and
sausages,
fluffy
and
but distinct shapes,
and Maltesers and things like that.
There's a direct correlation.
I think I'm just going to read out my. I'm going to read out my notes.
Looks like a banana.
Don't you understand? It's soft like a sausage, but long like a snake. It's entirely liquid.
That's somewhat extruded. If you imagine the sphincter, it's like... I've got Scottish now, right? Hello!
We're here to talk about Hercules in New York, which I'm very, very
Hercules.
excited about. Hercules!
Yeah!
In the vein of the Robocop video, Future Richard gives you this selection of Hercules in New York's best bits.
My mother may have been a model, but you, sirs, my father, are gods.
I will discuss this no further.
Nobody will stop me.
How dare you address such remarks to your father?
It's easy.
Why, you offensive puppy. Perhaps this will teach you respect for your elders?
I just saw a man.
Perhaps he didn't understand you.
I understood him. He's most disagreeable and he has irritated me.
That's me! How dare you not?
But the pivotal scene for the movie, because I think what it is, when we meet Bristol Steelchild,
I christen you Bristol Steelchild.
Bristol Steel, Dr. Bristol Steelchild. he knows that the movements can be divided into 7.
Yeah.
Well, he knows the movements can be divided, and he knows there's not just one type.
Right.
Despite what the point is, he's challenging the system, and he's the one who's going to smash this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Number 2, light blue touch paper, aim away from face.
This pack contains 4 courses of treatment, which consists of a single pessary with applicator to treat the cause of your condition, and 1 tube of double strength cream to treat and soothe external symptoms. This is so bad. Oh no! Okay, game face, bro. Game face. You have to cut a lot of this out. The pet.
Go on, breathe, mate. Breathe. Come on. You can do it.
The pessary, should be inserted as high as possible.
I'm not even listening to the words anymore.
Into the vagina.
Come on, mate.
With the help of the applicator. Preferably before going to sleep at night for convenient and comfortable treatment. The cream should be thinly and evenly applied to the area around the entrance. Oh, fuck! Entrance in the vagina 2 to 3 times a day and smooth in gently. It should be used until the symptoms of the infection disappear. The symptoms of thrush should disappear within 3 days of treatment. Alright, that's it.
What was Sylvester Stallone trying to do there?
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah. Oh no, I just. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was kind of a. You knew that, right? You knew that. What was
It was some kind of vaginal thrush cream.
Do you think of a brand? I'll give you that. It did said thrush in it, but I was kind of looking for
I've got to get the brand. How am I supposed to get the brand?
Rhymes with Jennifer Aniston.
I'm not up.
I wrote that wrong. I'm gonna give you 2.
Do you struggle with Casino Royale then?
I haven't watched it all the way through. I watched it when James Bond made the man eat a toilet. Or was it a sink? He made his head for a sink.
The man eat a toilet.
He sat there with a napkin tucked in his shirt, with a knife and fork. Eat the toilet.
All of it.
It's like a really long
parody
scene.
makes you eat the whole cake or smoke all the cigarettes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Because he wanted too much toilet. Or whatever.
He caught him eating toilet, so he made him eat the whole thing.
The whole thing.
And that's how he got his 007 status. He made a Manny a toilet. And the lid. Nom, 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 nom. You don't like toilets so much now, do you?
Yeah, she's the toilet. And if you've still got room, there's a bidet over there.
Get the bidet.
Leave room for your bidet.
Tore up all the Bonds making a Manny a toilet. Could I please have Roger Moore making someone eat a urinal? That is such.
I find a Chateau Neuf de Pape makes the urinal go down.
Everyone kind of goes like, oh yeah, Judge Dredd's like this super realistic police procedural hard-boiled action thing where the future policeman in a gritty future, goes and sweeps out drug dens. And it's like, well, yeah. He's friends with a lisping robot.
Yep.
He travelled to the future and had a punch-up with his own zombie.
Became a werewolf.
Became a werewolf. That's that's Cry of the Werewolf of the late great Steve Dillon. One of my favourite stories. Became a werewolf, fought predators, met Batman, fought xenomorphs, fought time-displaced Luftwaffe in space attacking a giant floating burger restaurant. Very recently got into a fight with some revolutionary chimpanzees that were trying to take over a giant lift.
Imprisoned the devil.
Imprisoned
gods.
Imprisoned the actual Judeo-Christian devil, and then years later was teleported by said devil, whilst naked, armed only with a book and a loofah, into the prison cell of his cyborg ex-nemesis, and forced to fight them in a musical episode in the medium of comics.
This scene where he's sitting there and he sat in the cafeteria at Bristol University and he's trying to piece together like how this works, and he's got notes and stuff like that, and we do that thing where he's like kind of furtively scribbling notes, and people don't like to speak to him because he's on a whole other level. Like he's not very sociable, but he's this kind of super genius,
savant,
mad hair and all that.
Yeah.
So people don't really sit with him at lunch and stuff, and there's probably like a sympathetic dinner lady or something that would have been played by the late Victoria Wood. We get Julie Walters. Get a nice British actor in a kind of, Julie Watt's done a lot of turns like that. So
absolutely.
But don't make her too much like Mrs. Overall. So Bristol still sat there with his notebook, and he looks around the canteen, and then I need to just check my notes to make sure I get this totally right. So, like, firstly, he sees like someone eating like mushroom stroganoff, and then there's someone eating like out of a big glass bowl of Maltesers, and then there's someone like eating a sausage, which could be a Cumberland ring. And then, like, someone eating some tofifi, and then
Bovril.
Yeah, Bovril. Or maybe there's like a Bovril
consomme or something.
It's the 70s, so there's like a Bovril vending machine or dispenser. But crucially, I just want a student like who's just petting a large brown snake, just in the middle of
and
the
eating a sausage
and eating a Cumberland ring on a stick.
I was definitely. Nicole Kidman in this film was definitely a sort of sexual awakening for me. It's like when your dad talks about Jenny Agutter or whatever. For me, it's like Nicole Kidman in this.
Kevin Smith calls her a capist or whatever because she just is so hot for fucking like cape wearers, isn't she? She's just like horny as fuck.
I really wanna hump you fucking.
Good I've been in.
Fuck me with the cowl on and
keep it on. What about your panda makeup?
Yeah,
I like it.
Who can we offend this week?
Slipping off my chair right
I'm gonna need a wet floor sign. It's like monsoon season in me clacker.
Oh, there's a Rorschach test. Oh, fucking all I see is capes and cocks. I got dressed up just for you.
Oh, crumbs. No, I love that. See shit. Really? I got no more left to say about Gremlins 2. I probably have, but I'm just a bit tired and hot. No, that was excellent. That was good stuff.
I'm getting a call saying that to remove my car because it's old and dirty. So I've got to take care of that.
Keep parked outside the Val Verde Communications Ministry. That'll happen, mate. Even if you are mates with the dictators. All right, good stuff. Brad will be back to do more stuff. We should do the Burbs or something one time. I fucking love the Burbs. Yeah. I fucking love the Burbs. They do. It's my favourite. It's brilliant. Hello, I'm Welsh. Very good. Excellent. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, I don't know, Snapchat. Okay, bye.
Bye.
As our sovereign nation is being invaded by gremlins, the Val Verde Broadcasting Company now must leave the air. We hope you enjoyed our programming, but more importantly, we hope you have enjoyed life.
Number 9, Gym Buddies. It probably goes without saying that The Expendables features one of the most muscle-bound casts ever assembled, with powerhouses such as Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Terry Crews, Randy Couture, and even former Mr. Universe, Arnold Schwarzenegger. With such an in-shape cast, there was always going to be a lot of competition on set. Some legendary workouts were taking place behind the scene and in between takes. However, it wasn't just the exercise that got competitive. As any fitness freak will tell you, nutrition is essential. While filming in Romania, the guys like to chow down on the local cattle. The competition got heated over who could eat the largest steak, with Dolph Lundgren getting away with an eye-watering 150-ounce or 4,000 gram steak in just 15 minutes. Not satisfied with having out-eaten the whole team, he started to mock castmate Jet Li, who had quietly opted out of the eating competitions. Stallone himself explains what happened next in this interview with Mark Kermode from BBC Radio 5 Live.
So Dolph starts banging on Jet, he's just like, "What's the matter, little guy? You want me to warm up some milk for you?" And we're all just laughing, because Dolph's a funny guy, but the Jet didn't want to take that, so we're set outside the bodega in Romania. And in Romania, they got these beautiful red foxes, okay? So Jet flips his table over. I never seen him so angry. He just walks off into the woods and we forget about it. And then we start to hear a whole lot of noise. And Jet comes back with his fox, and he's holding it by the legs so it can't escape. And he throws it down on the table in front of Dolph and bites down on the end of the tail. And this thing's going crazy. He starts thrashing and screaming and scratching Jet's face. But Jet just keeps eating and there's blood coming out of this thing and Jet just won't stop. I swear to God, he ate the whole thing. Even the teeth. In 14 minutes, crazy son of a bitch.
Jonathan Mustow phones me up and he says, "I want you to play the Terminator." But I'm not a Terminator. Ah! Yes, well, it is time, John Connor. This is an anti-Terminator Terminator.
Can you imagine? I mean, it'd be a very, very different film.
Watch it though, wouldn't you?
Whole hell's to the air.
I'm
trying to think of a line to say now. I'm going to just have to redo the whole thing.
Wait. Wait, hold on.
I know now why you cry. This is something I can never do.
I love it.
It'd just be so bizarre, but brilliant. What else?
Miles Bennett.
Yeah.
The man most directly responsible is Miles Bennett.
So I'm ruining it. I love it too much. Miles Bennett.
Miles Bennett Dyson, inventor of the vacuum cleaner. Goes online August 19th, whatever it is. 1997. Killing Dyson might actually prevent the war.
Haven't you learned anything?
No shattered bone.
Chill out, dickwad.
Yeah.
Oh my! This is a fabulous recasting. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, it's another like.
He's an imposter. Like whoosh, off with the shirt. Like it.
You couldn't. I kind of look at it and I sort of think, is this a film told from the perspective of someone that has a severe mental illness?
Here's the thing. I have a question for you because I can work it out. Can they fly? Because he sort of is seen to be flying
Well, he
next to it.
kind
There's
of
that stupid
drops out of
fucking gag when
space,
he's like,
doesn't he?
he goes past the plane window and then...
I'm sort of watching it, and I don't know why, because it's on the cusp, because, you know, you go through this if you watch, like, a silent film, but I've just watched it going, like, are all these people dead? Because that cabbie, I bet you that cabbie is probably, like, 34.
Well,
he just looks about 500
Right.
years
Yes,
old.
it's going to be my big break. Hercules in New York. You know, and it's, What happened? Oh, here's another way that it could end. It's that finally Skynet gets their hands on the Event Horizon / Golden Ticket thing. And but when they go to use it, like the Event Horizon's still possessed by all the like demons and stuff, so it shows Skynet its worst fears or its worst things, and then that's what like it turns it like it just completely shuts it down because it just freaks out and can't handle like.
I quite like the idea of Skynet being dragged into kind of a Judeo-Christian hell.
Yeah.
Because what would that mean?
I know, yeah. Like a bunch of Terminators just like being ripped apart or having been bummed with spikes or whatever it is.
This summer, Terminator will be bummed with a spike.
Liberate me. Da 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 da.
It's revealed that the Predators, who are referred to as the Predators by humans and each other, are coming to Earth. And the overall plot is that Predators want to steal autism? Right?
No, don't think it's quite that.
It is. It's like...
True oder falsch? True oder falsch? Orangensaft, Apfelsaft, true
oder falsch. Despite his name, Buck Rogers star Buster Crab never actually busted a crab.
I'd say that's true.
False.
I knew it.
He served 5 years as a reserve in the Sea Police, where a number of his arrests included crabs. No points.
The Sea Police.
So they get assaulted by a bear in Central Park when they're on a chariot ride.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where to start. It's a man in a bear costume, and it appears that the head is slightly mounted off skew.
It's a man in a bear costume from a costume shop, and not an expensive one. And the lead into it, here's another example. It's right. They're out riding along, and you just cuts to a cop car right near this. Dispatch, escapee from the zoo.
The zoo.
12,000-pound grizzly bear roaming around, and it's like, and all that happens is he just goes there, and has a fight with a man in a bear costume.
I am not a robot.
Do you think Dallas is a robot? I don't want to worry you.
Yeah, full disclosure, we were doing silly robot voices for Ian Holm, and like coming up with all these really shitty ways that he was trying to like.
Beep boop, beep boop.
Yeah. What?
I hope we can return to Earth.
Yeah. What would everyone like for breakfast? I'm thinking a nice steaming bowl of file not found.
404. Are you thirsty? Would you like some oil? Nourishing oil.
Put your face in there.
I must recharge.
I mean, sleep.
Bye. Bye. 001111.
Our third person is using a household object.
Mm-hmm.
Go when ready.
Okay. Before use, clean the affected area with mild soap and water. Rinse well and pat dry. This To apply this product inside the anus, use an applicator tip cap nozzle. Follow all instructions in the product package or use as directed by your doctor. Fill the applicator with medication from the container as directed. Gently insert the applicator tip just half to 1 inch, 1.5 to 2.5 centimeters, inside the anus and apply in and around the anal opening as directed. Do not insert your finger or any or any part of the. It all falls apart while I'm laughing.
This is better than I dreamed. This is better than my fondest dreams.
Or any part of the container into the anus. And do not insert the applicator tip nozzle more than half to 1 inch, 1.5 to 2.5 centimeters, damn it, inside the anus. Do not use your finger to apply this medication inside the anus. If you are using a single-use tube and applicator, discard after 1 use. To apply the product to the outside of the anus only, use your finger to apply a small amount of cream or ointment to the affected area and rub in gently. Wash hands immediately after Avoid getting the product in your eyes, nose, ears, or mouth. If the medication gets in these areas, rinse the area immediately with clean water. Ferret. Okay.
Brad, who was that person and what were they doing?
Well, it was a Mr. Schwarzenegger, as Barry Norman used to say. The only way that would have been funnier, or it would have been if he was H.R. Giga. Many times you said anus. I was just,
don't spoil the next round.
I'm not up on my brands for anti-pile cream or whatever, but
I'm gonna
But it's talking about an applicator. I don't know if it was for the cream or for the applicator.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. That takes you neck and neck. So that was Anusol.
Oh, Anusol.
Leading brand.
Anusol.
The leading brand of pile cream. These fucking nobodies. Look at these mooks. Look at him, like he's from Smash Mouth or something.
He's the bassist from Smash Mouth.
Captain Picard's ready room. What? Let's jump on his desk.
I can do a bit of soft shoe on his desk.
I just kicked some stuff around.
I think.
Look at him. He's like 1,000 Willem Dafoes. Okay, look.
Oh,
he can kill people. Oh, sick. Kill crazy rampage. Life is like a hurricane here in Star Trek. He does have magnificent breasts.
It looks like he's gonna thing.
Can I get the hat off him? No. If as soon as I touch, he's gonna.
Did you hear?
Classical actor Patrick Stewart, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you hear Captain Picard got William Telled on Enterprise D?
You know, like when they corner that guy, it's like they're sort of bukkake-ing him. There's like these three Daleks just standing over him. It's just got this sort of really gross, like, gangbang imagery in it.
It's why they have the plungers.
See, poor Elizabeth is monitoring the sound, just going like, oh.
Maybe I'm going too far with this, but you know what I mean.
Man, the psychosexual stuff of Alien is intrinsic and it's been discussed in every configuration, so I don't see a problem with it.
Would you like some allegory?
Load program. Matter for.
Sub. Text.
Subtext. 1111. It looks like a penis. 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 Penis.
Support your 7th or 8th favourite YouTube channel by buying crap, tat, junk, hogwash and filth at redbubble.com/people/Val Verde Shop.